The fall of Anakin Skywalker is the central tragedy of the Star Wars saga. A prophesied chosen one, brimming with unprecedented power, is ultimately consumed by fear and anger, leading to the collapse of the Jedi Order and the rise of a tyrannical galactic empire. We know this story and its devastating consequences, but this outcome was predicated on a series of key decisions and relationships. Today, we will examine how a single point of divergence, the choice of master for the young boy from Tatooine, could have altered the course of galactic history entirely. What if the Jedi tasked with this monumental responsibility was not the dutiful but inexperienced Obi-Wan Kenobi, but the profoundly wise and empathetic Keldor master, Plo Koon? This one alteration would not only have secured Anakin Skywalker's place in the light, but would have prevented the rise of the Empire and ensured the prophecy of the Chosen One was fulfilled as intended. The point of divergence occurs in the Jedi Council chambers, in the immediate aftermath of Qui-Gon Jinn's death on Naboo. The Council's initial decision to reject Anakin Skywalker appears validated by the sudden reemergence of the Sith. Bound by his promise, Obi-Wan Kenobi argues for Anakin's training, but his plea is rooted in duty, not deep conviction. In this timeline, however, another voice rises to counter the Council's skepticism, Plo Koon. Known for his unflappable calm and deep compassion, Plo Koon had been one of the few to see potential in the boy from the start. His argument was not one of obligation, but of foresight. He acknowledged the risk and the boy's palpable fear, but argued that casting out one so clearly touched by the Force was a greater danger. Where the Council saw a threat, Plo Koon saw a sacred responsibility. Swayed by his logic and his esteemed reputation, the Council reconsiders. Yoda and Mace Windu consent, but with a critical condition. The boy must be trained by a master of immense experience and emotional fortitude. The task could not fall to the newly knighted Obi-Wan. The Council decreed that this responsibility would fall to Plo Koon himself, and so Anakin Skywalker, the Chosen One, was assigned as the Padawan learner to the wise Keldor Jedi. From its inception, Anakin's training is fundamentally different. The dynamic between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Skywalker was often characterized by a fraternal rivalry. This, at times, led to friction and resentment, with Obi-Wan occasionally belittling his apprentice's abilities. Plo Koon's approach, conversely, is that of a true mentor. Described as unequivocally level-headed and deeply compassionate, he feels no need to compete. Instead of jealousy, Plo Koon feels pride in Anakin's rapid progress, fostering his confidence without allowing it to become arrogance. This mentorship style focused heavily on emotional regulation. Plo Koon understood that the Jedi prohibition on attachment was not about the suppression of emotion, but its mastery. He would have taught Anakin that to care for others is a strength, a philosophy he himself embodied. The lesson was the channeling of that care toward a commitment to a greater purpose. When Anakin experienced nightmares of his mother, Plo Koon would not have dismissed them. He would have meditated with Anakin, helping him process his fear and teaching him techniques to find peace. These sessions would have been supplemented with training from Master Yoda, not as a test, but as a supportive measure to build the emotional resilience necessary to overcome such trials. His combat training is also transformed. While Anakin's raw power led him to the aggressive Form Vive, Jem So, Plo Koon, a master duelist in his own right, would have supplemented this with the controlled defensive maneuvers of Sheen. This would instill discipline and patience in battle, turning Anakin's aggression into a focused weapon rather than an uncontrolled fire. Furthermore, Plo Koon would have introduced Anakin to more esoteric, light-sided Force abilities, such as electric judgment, demonstrating that great power does not have to be corrupting. Under this tutelage, Anakin flourishes, and the bond they form is one of profound mutual respect, mirroring the connection Plo Koon would have one day shared with Ahsoka Tano. Anakin trusts his master implicitly, with no need to hide his struggles. This foundation of trust and emotional stability becomes the bedrock for the Chosen One's true potential. As the timeline progresses, the first critical test of this new mentorship arrives, with Anakin's visions of his mother's suffering on Tatooine. In the original timeline, this journey was undertaken in secret with Padme Amidala, leaving a frustrated Obi-Wan behind. Here, the situation's resolution is fundamentally altered. Anakin immediately reports his visions to his master. Plo Koon listens with solemn gravity and agrees to accompany him, temporarily transferring the duty of protecting Senator Amidala to another Jedi. As a direct consequence of his master's presence, Anakin's relationship with Padme remains professional, and the moments that led to their clandestine romance do not occur. On Tatooine, they locate Shmi in the Tusken Raider camp. While Anakin's anger is present, Plo Koon's calming presence serves as an anchor. They infiltrate the camp with tactical precision. Though Shmi still tragically dies in his arms, the aftermath is profoundly different. Anakin is not alone in his grief. Plo Koon is there to guide him through the pain, helping him to let go without being consumed by hatred. There is no vengeful massacre. The first critical catalyst for his fall to the dark side is effectively neutralized. Their next crucible is the Battle of Geonosis. Arriving to rescue Obi-Wan, Anakin and Plo Koon enter the arena as a seamless fighting unit. Their synergy is palpable. Plo's defensive mastery perfectly complements Anakin's focused defense. As the Clone Wars erupt around them, they lead the charge with an efficiency that becomes legendary. They are a testament to what a perfectly balanced master-apprentice pairing can achieve, a beacon of light against the encroaching darkness. With the eruption of the Clone Wars, the effect of Plo Koon's mentorship becomes evident on a galactic scale. General Anakin Skywalker is a name spoken with awe, not for recklessness, but for brilliant and disciplined command. His signature creativity on the battlefield is now tempered by the strategic patience instilled by his master. In a moment of poetic destiny, the Jedi Council assigns the young Togruta Ahsoka Tano, discovered years earlier by Plo Koon, to Anakin for her apprenticeship. Having been shaped by one of the Order's finest mentors, Anakin becomes an incredible master himself. He views Ahsoka as an honored responsibility, guiding her with the same compassionate hand that was shown to him. Their bond, built on trust and respect, mirrors his own apprenticeship. And Ahsoka grows into a more balanced Jedi Knight. Furthermore, Anakin adopts his master's profound respect for the clone troopers. This philosophy was a direct result of Plo Koon's own established relationship with the 104th Battalion, the Wolf Pack. Anakin and Ahsoka forge an unbreakable bond with the 501st Legion and troopers like Captain Rex, fostering a loyalty that transcends mere duty. For Chancellor Palpatine, this stable, heroic version of Anakin Skywalker represented a significant obstacle to his intricate plans. The parental vacuum that Palpatine had so expertly exploited in the original timeline is absent. Plo Koon is the father figure Anakin always needed. Palpatine's whispers about power and the Jedi's mistrust fall on deaf ears, as Anakin's trust in his master and the Order is absolute. The powerful, emotionally stable, and deeply respected Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker is a nigh unbreakable wall against the Sith's influence. The final stage of Palpatine's grand design was predicated on the emotional seduction of Anakin Skywalker. In this altered timeline, however, Palpatine finds his primary levers of influence are non-existent. Without the clandestine romance, there is no secret marriage and no prophetic nightmares of Padme's death for him to prey upon. Anakin's defining emotional vulnerabilities have been healed through years of patient mentorship. When Palpatine plays his final card and reveals himself as Darth Sidious, he is not met with conflict in Anakin's eyes, but with the resolute certainty of a Jedi Knight. There is no hesitation. Anakin's first and only instinct is to report the treason to the Jedi Council. The ensuing confrontation in the Chancellor's office is not a singular, desperate act by Mace Windu, but a calculated strike led by several of the Council's finest swordsmen, including Windu and, at Anakin's insistence, Master Plo Koon. Palpatine is a formidable opponent, but he is facing a united front, with the Chosen One standing firmly in the light. He is overwhelmed and apprehended. With the revelation of Palpatine as Darth Sidious, the entire Sith conspiracy unravels. The justification for the war evaporates, the Chancellor's emergency powers are stripped away, and the command that would have decimated the Jedi Order, Order 66, is never given. Across the galaxy, clone commanders receive no secret transmission. Master Plo Koon, who in another life would have been tragically killed over Cato Neimoidia by his own men, is instead a living testament to the victory of the light. In the wake of Palpatine's defeat, the galaxy is irrevocably altered for the better. The Clone Wars end not in a manufactured tragedy, but in a true victory for the Republic. The Separatist movement, its Sith leadership decapitated, crumbles. The Republic is preserved. There is no Darth Vader. There is no Galactic Empire. There is no Death Star. The story of the rebellion as we know it is never written. The Jedi Order, having survived its near extinction, is forced into a period of profound self-reflection, leading to institutional reforms. It becomes a more compassionate and adaptable organization, one that recognizes the importance of connection, guided by Plo Koon's philosophy. Anakin Skywalker in this timeline fulfills the prophecy of the Chosen One not through destruction and redemption, but by serving as the bulwark against the darkness. Hailed as the greatest hero of the Republic, he becomes a Jedi Master of unparalleled power and wisdom. A reformed order might even revise its strictures on attachment, allowing him and Padme to build a relationship on a foundation of maturity and openness. He becomes a beacon of hope, a symbol of what the Jedi can and should be, ensuring the Force remains in balance for generations. This single point of divergence, placing Anakin Skywalker under the mentorship of Plo Koon, rewrites the saga from a story of tragedy into one of triumph. It underscores the monumental impact of guidance and demonstrates that with the correct support, the path to darkness is not inevitable. The galaxy is left in a state of enduring peace, with the Jedi Order stronger than ever and the Chosen One as its ultimate champion. But it leaves us with a final question. In this new, brighter galaxy, what kind of legendary Jedi Master would this version of Anakin Skywalker have become?